Hey guys, Marsingan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I thought we'd do a showcase for the TUR Trunks and Broly now that they are out on the global side. We definitely got their TUR awakening a lot quicker. When you look at JP, the gap between the Tech Trunks releasing and then awakening into the TUR Trunks and Broly, it was pretty much 2 months, practically just even 2 months. But now it's really only been a month. I think I put out the video I checked earlier today when I made a video about the skill orbs guide, so check that out if you want to know best builds for them. And that video was only like 3 weeks ago apparently, so it's probably closer to 4, but YouTube doesn't round up for that kind of stuff. So we got this awakening within a month of the Tech Trunks coming out. Hopefully that means in March we'll get the LR awakening for them as well. But I wanted to check them out at their TUR because I remember them being pretty decent when they came out on JP. I have got them up to level 10 links already, and I have farmed the equips. I've got almost the perfect one. So for the bronze, you can get, I know you can get a level 8 defense. You can get one that's level 5 attack, level 5 defense, which I wanted. I only got the 4 attack and 5 defense so far, but considering defense is the one I care the most about, I've put that on there for now. I got the silver one that I wanted, which was level 4 additional, and then defense, which I think is level 2. That's the best one you can get if you want additional. It's defense level 3. Best one you can get if you want additional on the silver. And then with the gold, you can get additional level 6, and then it's either defense or attack. Is level, is it 2? Yeah, 2. So ideally I would want that one to be additional and defense, but considering I got the 6 additional, I'm just kind of happy to go with that for now, and then we'll see what they are doing here. So my build, as you can see, is 16 additional, 5 crit, and then 15 dodge. The reason for that, if we look at their abilities here, so as a TUR, they obviously only have the 1 super. Raise attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to the enemy. And then their passive is attack and defense 80%. Launch an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super. Medium chance to crit. So they basically have 15 crit, but just as part of their passive, right? Additional attack and defense 30% when performing a super. Launches another additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super if HP is 50% or more when performing a super attack. Then an additional chance of crit 20% if HP is 50% or less when performing a super attack. They get an additional attack and defense 31% and damage reduction of 8% within the same turn with each attack performed. So as long as we are above the HP threshold for their additional, which is 50%, they will get an additional attack, which has a medium chance to become a super. That obviously helps to trigger their hidden potential. So being at 16 for additional, it means there's a 32% chance they'll do an additional, and that will get rolled for twice. So we're going to go ahead and try this out here. I don't really want to let the Super Saiyans attack in slot 1, because they probably will do way too much damage. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now we share 3 links. Obviously we're on the 200% Super Saiyans team with the actual LR. Saiyan Warrior Race prepared for battle and Super Saiyan. Of course, once they awaken to an LR, they will pick up Legendary Power as that final link. So that's another link that they would share with the Super Saiyan trio. And then we have the support from Bardock in slot 3 as well. So we're looking at basically a 2 million attack stat here for the first one. We do get that defense on super as well as the attack and defense raise. Then the attack from their passive was an additional super. So that jumped up by quite a lot. We're up to 2.5. Can we get the hidden potential as well? Oh, perfect on their first turn. Goes up to 3.2. And that means with 8% damage reduction per super, they have 24% damage reduction now as well. And then there's the dodge. There's another dodge. Once they awaken into an LR, one of the things that they get that makes them so useful for this team is that they get rainbow orb changing if they're in slot 1 or slot 3. Now, some people might not know this about rotations. I remember when I mentioned this the last time, there was someone who said they've been playing for a little while and didn't actually know that at the time. But if you float a unit off in slot 3, obviously they come back 3 turns later and they come in slot 1. So if you float them off, then they come back on another rotation. They'll come back onto slot 1 and they'll change orbs on that rotation, which is ideally what we want. Because this team has a lot of units that want to pick up orbs. The LR Super Saiyans themselves obviously want to get as many orbs as possible to trigger the ability to get those additional super attacks. So having a bunch of extra rainbow orbs on the field is obviously very, very beneficial. And then you have units like Physical God Goku running around who wants to get 6 orbs regardless of the typing or anything. So having rainbow orbs to connect the entire field together for him is obviously very, very good as well. So these guys are going to be very valuable on this Super Saiyans team, even if they just end up being a 3rd slot floating unit. So the one thing to note, of course, considering the damage we took even in that first phase there from the tech cell, is that they are most certainly not a slot 1 unit. Obviously, they get a significant amount of defense from getting their supers off, as well as the fact that they build up damage reduction. So that's another thing that makes them obviously very well suited to being a unit that sits in slot 3. Provides a nice little bit of damage, as well as some extra links and things like that. Like if you have a unit like Physical God Goku in slot 1 on your rotation, and then you have the LR Super Saiyans in the middle, that means obviously they're not getting legendary power from God Goku, but on the turns where the Super Saiyan trio float onto the rotation, then they will be getting legendary power. So I feel like they're definitely a solid investment for this team for once we do actually get their LR awakening. But I mean, to be honest, their initial attack stat, the 2 million, doesn't seem that crazy, but when they jump up by as much as they do, I mean, we did literally get the God turn for the first turn, which is very good. It's always super annoying when you're trying to showcase a unit and you just don't get, like, any of the good RNG, right? So this is a good rotation for them. We still got the 3 links for the majority. They have shocking speed, but they do have prepared for battle as well, which is really good. And then, of course, the only downside being that they are a shattering the limit unit. So once they're an LR, we would obviously run the rotation like this. We would be getting these 3 links and legendary power active. This would be a very good rotation. But, of course, we're showcasing them, so we're going to keep them on the turn here. So if I do this, that probably doesn't... Yeah, I was going to say, that doesn't really give me access to the int orbs, does it? It's not really a big deal. We're not here to showcase the Super Saiyans. We know what they do. So Goku going to eat a super straight away here. Now, the big thing with them is the fact that the chance for their additionals to become supers is only a medium chance. So that's 30%, right? So obviously we got that great turn on the first turn, but you're not going to see that every single time. And unfortunately, even when they awaken into an LR, I think they pick up another additional as well. So at max, they can do 4 supers. But those chances don't go up. They stay as medium. Now, of course, one thing we're all suspecting, because it hasn't happened on JP yet, so we have no way to know for sure, is that when they're going to Easy A as well. So there'll be a free-to-play LR with an Easy A. And then we will end up getting the high chance, right, on their additionals. So I think that will be a way that that can potentially work out. I think part of their hidden potential can trigger their passive. I think might... Oh, their passive, because of the way it's worded, it's on super attack. So their passive can trigger off of their hidden potential attack, I think, which is why we got the extra super there as well. So that's pretty good. But yeah, these guys, I think as a TUR, they're relatively decent. Obviously, I wouldn't say they're a must-run unit on the Super Saiyan team. I think especially because that LR Awakening, giving them that utility with the rainbow orb changing, that's another thing that just makes them a huge asset to the team, which obviously as a TUR they don't actually have yet. So that is something you, of course, will have to bear in mind. Again, I'm not really too bothered about the Super Saiyans here, so we will just grab those for Goku. Grab these for you, get some orbs for you to heal up a little bit as well. The reason I bought the Int Namek Goku is he shares a fair few links with the Broly and Trunks, including shattering the limit. Because, of course, the only other downside for them is that a lot of these units on the team are fierce battle characters for the most part. Because Super Saiyans, of course, are a very, very strong team with a lot of Dokkan Fests, a lot of LRs. But I think they do... I'd have to double check their full LR kit, because I think they get a way to get extra key as well. Because obviously they pick up legendary power, but they have shattering the limit, they have shocking speed, and they have prepared for battle. So there's a fair few units on the Super Saiyan team that have... Well, I think all of them actually on the main team have prepared for battle or shocking speed. There's not that many that will have both, but them having both is good as well for linking up with whoever they happen to be on the rotation with, if you are using them as a slot 3 flowing unit, because then they're always going to share one of those 2 major key links with one of the characters that you're probably going to have them actually paired up with. So this next rotation is I'm looking forward to seeing what their stats are with the extra couple of links, because for the most part we've really only had the 3 links active. Although, of course, I say that, and although he always supers in slot 1, right? So if I do this, that should hopefully take away the super. Because otherwise, he's going to super Namek Goku, and then we're just going to revive because he's going to get killed. But we have every single link active. They share 5 links with Super Saiyan Goku. And then obviously picking up the other one from... does he not have... Yeah, he doesn't have prepared for battle, so they're getting prepared for battle from Birdku. So they've got every link active. So they start the turn at 123k defense. Remember, they are getting 30% when performing a super. So with no support on the rotation, that's another like 40k. That takes them up to 160. They're getting 30% from their super attack effect as well. So they're going up to about 200k after one super, which, when you think about the terms of like the most difficult content, that's not really good enough. Even with, after one super, they'll have 8% damage reduction. So once you get the second super, we start jumping up closer to 250 with 16% damage reduction. And then the next one will be getting closer to 300k with the 24% damage reduction, which is where they'll start to tank things a little bit better. Some of the hardest hitting normals in the game do, what, about 500k? So you take 24% off of that, you're looking at, what, sort of 375-ish. So they're probably still taking about close to 100k, but those are from some of the hardest hitting normals in the game, if that is the case. So that's not too bad overall for a free to play TUR here. So we'll go ahead and do this. Hopefully we action break to the super attack, because I really want to see them actually attack here. We did, perfect. There you go. Now hopefully we can get the good RNG. Like, this cell can hit pretty hard. You saw how much damage Goku took before getting his defensive buff for the turn. And it's pretty super for him as well, which of course his defense is a lot higher after he gets his 18k super off. But we'll see what these guys are looking like here. Of course, we had both examples of like RNG where we got the 2 additional normals, but one of them did trigger the extra attack from the passive. So we'll see how we get on. 1.8 with all the links. We do get the crit. Yeah, see, that's their worst turn. 1 additional normal, and then that's it. So that was them having, like I said, about 200k defense with 8% damage reduction, which unfortunately is, yeah, just not really good enough, I'm afraid. So it's one of those things where they're decent enough as a free-to-play TUR for some things. Like, I imagine there's going to be a lot of events, things like Easy A's and stuff like that, where if they're on any of those categories, because they are on quite a few teams, if they're on any of those categories for Easy A's, especially against AGL enemies, any of the sort of medium level content, like Red Zones where we get the slightly earlier stages, Super Battle Road stages, where they're on those categories, they could be relatively decent additions to the team. But I think overall it's pretty clear that they're not going to be super good for the most difficult content as a TUR. I'm going to keep a TUR version just for collection purposes, because I really like the art for them. But yeah, I mean, they do okay for a free-to-play unit, but are they the best investment? I mean, they're the best investment for getting the unit up to LR, but just I wanted to do the TUR showcase to see what they would be like. I'm going to keep one as a TUR and link level them and everything just for the sake of collection, as I say, but I probably wouldn't recommend most people do it after seeing their performance here. They're on a lot of teams: Time Travelers, Full Power, Joined Forces, Super Saiyans, Connected Hope, Entrusted Will, Power of Wishes. So the LR definitely going to be very good. So make sure you get the equips farmed up, make sure you get them ready to go. Obviously, some people are in two minds about link leveling characters who are going to awaken, because once they get their LR awakening, they're going to have legendary power at level 1, but I'll just chuck them on the link level team, and then after, doing a few runs while I'm sorting out other stuff that day when their awakening comes out, I'll just drop a couple of the link skill orbs, and then we will do the Rainbow full level 10 link showcase once the LR awakening comes out. So let me know what you guys think of TUR, Trunks and Broly, the step before their awakening. Hopefully we will see it come early, and we'll see it in March. Be interesting if the Saiyan Day unit is a character that leads a team that they're on, that they could be good for as well, with that Rainbow Orb changing. So their awakening dropping in early March would be super good for that. So let me know all your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.